Welcome everyone to lecture number 35 of the political science lab. So we have discussed most of the aspects of directive principle of a state policy, the articles related stuffs and the provisions under it. We have discussed all the aspects till now. Now we are taking few of the topics that are considered under the DPSP concept. So first we are going to choose Uniform Civil Code. So as per the article 44, it has been mentioned that a state should try to implement uniform civil code. Okay, so regarding this uniform civil code, there are two aspects. Okay, one is like criminal, the laws, like the laws that we have in our country. There are two types of laws. One is criminal laws, one is civil laws. Okay, so criminal laws like 302 IPC, 376 IPC we used to hear in the news. Okay, and civil laws will be like your personal laws. Okay, personal laws. What kind of personal laws? Like marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption. Okay, those kind of things will be considered under civil law. Civil laws will means like there is no criminal kind of activities have been performed, like murder or like killing someone or making threatening someone or do some theft based kind of activities and all. Okay, so criminal laws, we are getting what exactly it means. Okay, and civil laws will be related to the family, society kind of things that will be considered under the civil law. Okay, now within this civil laws, what has happened, that criminal laws is uniform. It is uniform. It is applicable to all the citizens of India, irrespective of caste, religion. Okay, and all the aspects it is same for all the citizens. Okay, I'm not talking about foreigners and all. Just the overall concept that criminal laws applies to all the religions equally. Okay, now what about the civil laws? Civil laws is like it varies. Okay, it get varies. Discriminations happen in different set of laws. Okay, so in some scenario marriage law is different, in some scenario divorce law is different. Okay, so that kind of thing is present under the civil laws, and there is no uniformity under it. Okay, so one second. So till now uniform civil code is not implemented, yet it is mentioned under the constitution. Okay, that a state should implement a uniform civil code for the citizens. Okay, but till now this uniform civil code is not implemented, and recently PM has notified that people should think about now uniform civil code. Okay, so all the personal law related to Hindi community was codified. So what has happened in the past, that all the personal law related to Hindu community was codified, but other religion were left optional. As per time it was tell that we will do for the other religion also, but till now Hindu community has codified the things. Okay, why? Because in the community sati kind of practice was there, child marriage practice was there. Okay, so those things have been codified, and now those things will not be practiced. Okay, but in the case of other religion it is not so. Okay, so sometimes let us speak that is the highlighted topic, that in the Muslim community, what is happening in Muslim community, that within the Muslim community, as per their religious belief, that they cannot take any interest. Okay, they cannot take loan kind of things, or paying interest for any religious stuff. Now, within there themselves, that 3 marriages are allowed. Okay, triple talaq bill, we have seen that triple talaq has been illegal, but earlier it was there. Okay, 3 marriages are allowed. So those kind of things are present under the Muslim community, but these things are not allowed in the Hindu community. And within the Muslim community, there are multiple voices have been raised by the women that these practices should be abolished. Okay, that is creating a problem within their community. So favoring of this term, that was required of uniform civil code. Like, why Muslim community has been allowed to do 3 marriages, but they are doing so. And when there are questions have been raised to those community, that okay, 3 marriages is mentioned, is allowed in your religious stuff, so you are following it, but at the same time the interest and all is not allowed in your religion. So why you have a account in a banks, and using your you are creating your FDs, taking the interest and all. Okay, so why you are doing so? So it is just that it has been seen that as per their interest, self interest, they are doing so, and that's what government is countering this point. And let me make it very clear that these points are not mine. These are technical stuffs that have been given by the various experts on this uniform civil code and all. Okay, so I have given you the picture about that, what is happening and why there is a need of uniform civil code. Okay, now we'll understand what are the argument in favor of uniform civil code. Okay, arguments in the favor of okay. Now, first is that we should repeat the constitution and make uniform civil code. Okay, it's just that it's just that we should respect the constitution and make uniform civil code. That as per the article 44 itself, it is mentioned that we should have a uniform civil code. Okay, as per the article 44, we should have a civil code for all the citizens. So we should respect the constitution, and implement it. Okay, first, that is the point in the favor of it, is this one. Okay, now the second point, in Muslim personal law, divorce law is not available to women. Well, or religion women have. Okay, so it should be that for the Muslim personal law, that divorce law is not available to women. Only the divorce can be given by the men. Women, if there is a too much violence is happening for the women within the house also, she can't raise a voice for the divorce. Until unless the husband want, then only this will be allowed. Okay, so that what regarding such kind of violence should not be there, and equal right should be given, because for all the religion, women also have a right to request for the divorce. Okay, but in the case of Muslim, it is not allowed. In the case of Muslim personal law, it is not allowed. If Muslim men give a divorce, then Muslim women can take it. Okay, and another thing is that when the divorce is happened, the compensation that is given is only for 3 months. Okay, this is called as a waiting period or iddat. Okay, whereas if you compared with this thing with the other religion, like let us suppose with the Hindu women Hindu women gets the compensation for whole life. For whole life she get the compensation. So why that kind of discrimination is there with the really with the women of Muslim community? Why this kind of discrimination? One is that she can't raise a voice for the divorce also, okay, because Muslim personal law that doesn't allow them. Further, the iddat, the waiting period, no sorry, the compensation that is given to the Muslim women is only for the three months, but in the Hindu community it is for the whole life. Why this kind of discrimination is there? So Muslim personal law adoption, another one thing that within the Muslim personal law, adoption is not allowed, okay, adoption is not allowed. You can't adopt any child and all, but in the other religion these things are allowed, okay. So that's why these kind of things are there. That's why the voices are being raised in the favor of UCC, okay. Now if there is a voice in the favor of UCC, there will be the voice that will be the against the UCC, okay, arguments against UCC, okay. So what are the points that is raising voice against the uniform civil code? So see, Constitution talks about uniform civil code but not common civil code. Constitution is talking about what has happened? No. Constitution has talked about uniform civil code, not common civil code, okay. They are telling that uniformity has been requested by the Constitution. It is not that all the laws will be common to all the religion. It should be uniform, that this kind of law is there, so that kind of similar law that we should have, uniformity should be there, okay. Now there is a very fine line between the meaning of this term, uniform civil code and common civil code. We'll see what is this mean. Uniform civil code, the definition of it, and this common civil code. See, uniform civil code means that different religion, different law. As per them, the voices which has been raised against the UCC, they are telling that government is trying, whenever people are getting misconfused, that uniform civil code means that common civil code. No, uniform civil code is different and common civil code is different. Whatever we are discussing, whatever the current Modi government that has been asking, they are talking about common civil code, but this is not given. We should implement uniform civil code. But what is the difference between uniform civil code and common civil code? And see, there is no term called common civil code. It is just the term that has been coined by the people who are against the UCC, that on the sake of you are trying to implement UCC, on the word of UCC, you are not implementing UCC, you are implementing common civil code, okay. So what is the definition that is given by them? UCC, what is the UCC? Different religion should have different law. They are telling different religion should have different law, but uniformly applicable to all members of the religion. But uniformly applicable to all members of that religion, regardless of any discrimination to gender, caste, etc. Okay, regardless to any discrimination. And what we have, we are telling, I am just telling in the word in the favor of them, that who are telling against the UCC. Okay, what they are telling, that what you guys are telling is not UCC. You are telling common civil code. Common civil code is like all religion, same law. So you are changing the definition what is mentioned under the Article 44. Article 44 is telling us to implement UCC, Uniform Civil Code. What is the meaning of Uniform Civil Code? The different religion should have a different law, but the law whatever it will be there, it should be uniformly applicable to all the members of that religion. Okay, that is the point given by the people, by the expert who are against the UCC. Okay, they are telling that we should implement this UCC. This is the meaning of UCC. Not all religions should have a same law. This is not the meaning of UCC as per them. They are telling that you are not implementing UCC, you are implementing CCC, Common Civil Code. Okay. Further, that is the one point. First point, that you are not implementing UCC, you are implementing Common Civil Code. Okay. But article tells that we should implement UCC. Now another point that is given by against the Uniform Civil Code, that if UCC is implemented, then Article 25 and Article 26 will be violated. Okay. What does Article 25 26? Article 25 and 26 will be under the fundamental right, and we know that fundamental right is superior than the DPSP. Okay. So Article 25 and 26 tells that the freedom of conscience and freedom of profession, practice and propagation of religion should be there, and Article 26 tells that freedom to manage religious affairs should be there. Okay. So if you are trying to implement Uniform Civil Code, so ultimately you are snatching these rights, because you are snatching their practices, the way they should practice, propagate their religions and all. You are interfering into those things. You are interfering in the management of their religious propagation. Okay, that is the word that is raised by them, that when you are trying to implement UCC, you are going to violate 25 and 26 of the article, and ultimately this DPSPs cannot be a superior than a fundamental right. Thus this should not be implemented. Example that they have given, that polygamy in Muslim, no concept of divorce in Christian community is there. No concept of divorce is present in the Christian community. Okay, so Uniform Civil Code can never be implemented in this country. That has been verdict that is given by the people who are against the UCC. So that is the point that is given by them. So if you see clearly, this is very controversial topic, UCC. If you read this argument in the favor of UCC, you will see, oh my god, yes, they are telling correct. When you are going with this argument against UCC, in that case also you will feel that they are correct. Okay, so ultimately we will see what is going to be implemented, but these are the points that we can write whenever the question can come. Argument in the favor of UCC, argument against the UCC, and at the conclusion we should write that we should go with some middle way, that that should be sit together with all the religious leaders and all, and then decisions should be taken, and we should try to implement that thing. Okay, now, so Article 29 is there, the fundamental right to preserve their culture. So how can DPSP violate fundamental rights? So that's why Article 25, 26 is getting violated through that. So there are points that has been raised by them that it should not be implemented. Okay. So in spite of this implementation of Uniform Civil Code, we should take care of our personal laws like triple talaq, and we have seen that, that the laws were given where the triple talaq became illegal. Now, one more stuff that I want to tell, that Goa is the only state in India which has a Uniform Civil Code. Goa is the only state in India which has uniform civil code. Goa was a Portuguese colony earlier. So because of agreement between the Portuguese government and Indian government, Goa became part of India. But in this agreement, condition was there that this Portuguese civil law should be continued in the Goa, and it should be uniformly applicable to all the religion community of the Goa, and that's why Goa have a uniform civil code. So if there is a question in exam, so is there any state that has uniform civil code? Yes, Goa is the state which has a uniform civil code, because it came with the agreement of Portuguese government and the Indian government, that within the agreement it was mentioned that the uniformity, whatever the law is there, that will be applicable to all the religions uniformly, okay, within the community of Goa. So uniformity cannot always mean justice, it can be discrimination as well, okay. Now there are some points that will be discussed. So we have understood the story about all this UCC, okay. Now we'll dig deep more under this, okay. Now question is there, uniformity cannot always mean justice, it can be discrimination also, it can be discrimination as well, okay. How? So it can also mean that uniformity in discrimination, in that you can have a discriminatory provisions applicable across all religions uniformly, okay. So let me explain you with this an example. So in Goa, regardless of religion, 2 signatures are required in the marrying, whenever you are doing marriage in Goa. Whatever the religion you have, whether you are a Christian, Muslim, Hindu and all, whatever is there, 2 signatures are required, okay. One is before the marriage, and another will be the after the marriage ceremony, okay. Then after, when the second signature is confirmed, then only after the marriage is legalized. So but for the Christian it is different. In the Christian community this thing is different. How it is different? In Christian community 2 signatures are not required. In Christian community 2 signatures are not required, okay. So Catholic do first signature first in their thing, who were doing the pujas and all. So Catholic do the first signature, okay. But for second signature, church has the agreement with the state, okay. So what the church has done the agreement with the state that second signature is not required, church will take care of that, okay. So for other religion it is allowed, it is compulsory that 2 signature must be there, but for the Christian it is not so. Only one Catholic will do the first signature, and for the second signature it is not there. Why? Because church has the agreement with the state that no need of a second signature. So why this kind of thing is present, okay. So here the discrimination is taking place, actually this discrimination is happening here, okay. Now divorce is actually conceptually what the thing is given by the church, that second signature is like the church itself is the what proof that marriage has been taken place. That's why there is no need of a second signature, and they have taken agreement with the state. So but for the other marriage, so why is it so? Why they have been given their community, their temple or mosque should be given the right that they itself also have a agreement with the church that they are also the proof that the marriage has been completed. But no, this thing has not been provided for all the religion. Only this is applicable to the Christian community. Thus this uniformity cannot always mean a justice, it can be a discrimination also. Okay, so this uniformity is creating a discrimination within the people of Goa. Divorce is applicable to all religion, okay, including Muslim, irrespective of gender. In Goa, we know that within the Muslim community, women can't give a divorce to a man. Okay, only men have the right as per the Muslim personal law. Only the men have the right to give the divorce. But in Goa, divorce, if you are even of the Muslim community, even if you are a Muslim community, you can give a divorce. So divorce is applicable to all the religion in Goa, okay, including Muslim irrespective of gender. Understand? Including Muslim irrespective of gender, because within the Muslim personal law women are not allowed to give the divorce. Okay, so now, so but only in Catholic, so all the religion are allowed to give the divorce. But now there is a different law. Now there is a twist. Now within the Catholic, within the the person who are doing the marriage and also, divorce is only granted. In the Christian, the divorce is only granted if the marriage is not consumed. It means no sexual intercourse. Okay, so why this is a different law for them? Divorce is applicable to all the religion within the Goa, but when it comes for the Christian community, they are telling that divorce is allowed only and until if there is no sexual intercourse happen between the couple. Okay, if they consumed means that if they did a sexual intercourse, then divorce will not be applied to them. So why this kind of discrimination is there? So that is the one. Uniformity cannot always mean justice, it can be a discrimination also. The best example is these two. First, that I have given you this agreement one, marriage agreement, and another one is the divorce thing that is happening in Goa. Okay, so in Goa civil code there is a one beautiful concept that they tells. Okay, what they called is within the Goa they call it regime of communion of assets. Okay, what is happening within the Goa, that if male is there, he has a X assets. Okay, women is there, she has a Y assets. Okay, they did the marriage. After marriage, X plus Y, it means like whatever the property of men will have and whatever the property women will have, both property will be merged and that will become a communal asset. Okay, so now both have a right to their each property. Understood? Let me explain it again. In Goa there is a concept, regime of communion of assets. What it tells, that if a man have a X assets, if a women have a Y assets, so after marriage their assets will be merged and both will have a right, that will have a communal assets. But now here is a twist. What is the twist? Even assets can be kept separated, but if men or women has a hereditary property. Okay, so if the control is given to the husband, now what is happening? Let us suppose if men and women, the property that they have X and Y, that the property they have hereditary property. It means that grandfather's property, grandfather's property is there. Okay, so if men and women has a hereditary property, the control of that property, combining, I'm telling that even it is combined, the control of that property will always go to men, will always go to the husband. Okay, so now this is a discrimination against. Till here it was very good, very good, very beautiful. Whatever the assets will have a man, whatever the assets will have a wife, it will be whatever the assets have a man, whatever the assets will have a women, both assets will be merged together. But now if there is a hereditary property, the control will be given to the husband. Okay, so now this is something is called causing a discrimination that we are talking about, that uniformity cannot always mean justice, it can lead to the discrimination also. So right now various cases came on this thing, regime of communion of assets, where the hereditary property is always going to the husband. Okay, the husband operates this what are the complaints there, that complaints was raised that the husband operates these communal assets in such a manner, husband is not sharing money with the wife. Even on top of that, on communal property, husband is raising loan, and by husband and missed by the husband is raising a loan, and it is not taking permission with the women also. Even that we don't have that purpose, husband has taken any law, like the person has not taken any law in his hand. He is doing as per the law itself. It is provided that the husband will have a owner of the hereditary property of the women also. So yes, that kind of discrimination can happen where the uniformity is there. So this was the point that was raised about under the Uniform Civil Code. So quickly go overview what we have discussed till now. So first we have discussed what is Uniform Civil Code. Okay, what is the difference between criminal laws and what is the difference between civil laws. Okay, that we have discussed. Then we have discussed what is UCC, and we have discussed the voice that is raised always in the favor of UCC, what are the arguments that has been given by them, and we have also presented the voice that is raised against the UCC, that why UCC should not be implemented. Okay, and now we have given this example that Goa is one of the state where it has a Goa is the only state where it has a uniform civil code. But even though it has a uniform civil code, we have shown you an example within the Goa that uniformity is there, uniform civil code is there. Irrespective of that, there is a discrimination in the Goa in the multiple laws. Within that, I have given you a total 3 examples. One was related to the marriage signature, where all the religions were forced that they must have 2 signatures before and after marriage, but that thing is not applicable to the Christian community. Within the Christian community, it was there that the person who are doing the marriage, they will have to do the first sign, and the second signature church will do that. Church will have a proof, and this is an agreement with the state. The second example that I have given, the divorce thing, that the divorce is applicable to all the religion, where where Muslim community can also raise a divorce even irrespective of a gender, that women can also raise a voice for the divorce. As per the Muslim personal law, this is not allowed, but in the Goa it is allowed. Okay, but here the different law is for the Catholic people, that if the marriage is not consumed, then only they can do a divorce, otherwise they can't do. Okay, another example that we have given, that there is a concept of regime of communion of assets within the Goa. Within that, as per this concept, that whatever the assets will men have, whatever the assets will women have, both will be combined. But in the case where the assets is hereditary, so that hereditary property will always be given to the husband. That the husband will have a much more power on that hereditary property. And due to that, always a voice has been raised by the multiple women, that the husband who are earning on that hereditary property. Let us suppose a women have a land, and a husband has created husband has opened a shop over there, and whatever the money he is earning, he is not giving to his wife. Okay, and wife cannot also give a divorce. Why let us suppose if anything is going wrong within them, so they cannot also give a divorce. Why? Because their marriage is also already consumed. They have a intercourse, a sexual intercourse, and as per the Goa law, they can't, a divorce cannot be applied to those couple if they have a sexual intercourse. Then what is that? Then the women is completely stuck into that scenario. Okay, then women can't do anything at the time, because the first thing is that law itself is given a power to his husband, that the husband can use the hereditary assets of his wife. Okay, and if there is, let us suppose, some clash is happening within the husband and wife, so whatever the money the husband is getting earned, he is not sharing that money with his wife also. Okay, and top of it, wife cannot give a divorce to a husband, because there is a high priority. Let us suppose that if they have a sexual intercourse, they cannot give a divorce to that. So yes, that kind of thing is present under the Goa. That's why there is a point that uniformity can not always mean a justice. It can also lead to a discrimination. Whenever such kind of things also topic come in, they say we can give these 3 examples. That will be a very good thing. Okay, so this was all about in this lecture. In the next lecture we are going to pick it up a Special Marriage Act. Okay, thank you.